Hello and welcome to this video on functional skills maths, and this is the answers to practice paper 2 at level 1. Section A is the non-calculator section where there are 15 marks available and you will have 25 minutes in the exam to answer these questions. Let's start then with question 1. Work out 1.2 times 100 and circle your answer. So remembering how we multiply our decimals by tens, hundreds and thousands, we have 1.2 and we're going to multiply it not by 10 but by 100. So fill in any empty hooks with a 0. So we have our decimal point here now. So our answer would be 120. So circle 120 for the correct answer. Question 2, write in digits 32,000. So 32 and then 3 zeros after it. Question 3, draw all the lines of symmetry on this shape. So this shape, you have to look at it and see whether you can fold it in half, and you should come up with 2 lines of symmetry. One down the center that way and one across it that way. Question 4 is asking us to divide 7.28 by 4. So set up your bus stop to do the maths. And then go along the bus stop. So 4 goes into 7 once, and there's a remainder of 3. Don't forget to put in your decimal point. And then 4 goes into 32 8 times, and 4 goes into 8 twice. So your answer is 1.82.
Question 5. Here is the start of a sequence. 7, 10, 13 and 16. Write down the next 2 numbers in the sequence. Well, to work out what the sequence is, we need to see what's happening between the numbers. And this is called the rule. And the rule here is quite straightforward. To get from 7 to 10, we're adding 3. And we can check that with the next 2 numbers. So yes, 10 to 13 and 13 to 16, add 3. So to continue the sequence, just keep adding 3. So we end up with 19 and 22. So on the answer line, 19 and 22 for 1 mark.
Question 6, work out 25% of 76. Well, 25% we recognize as a quarter. So if we divide 76 by 2, we end up with 38. So that's a half. And then if we divide it by 2 again, we end up with 19. So 25% of 76 is 19. You can do this the same way using the 10% method if you want to. Question 7 is all about BIDMAS. BIDMAS says that we do brackets first, then indices, then division and multiplication together, then addition and subtraction together. We have no brackets and we have no indices. So we do division and multiplication first, which is this part of our problem. So it becomes 15 plus, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. 15 plus 7 is 22. So the correct answer for 1 mark is 22. Question 8 is asking us what 0.2 is as a fraction. So 0.2 means 2/10. That's what the first decimal place means to us. We always try and simplify a fraction that we create. So 2 goes into the top once and it goes into 10 5 times. So to make sure of the mark, we put in 1/5. Question 9. Sort the following in ascending order, in other words, the smallest number first. The trick with decimals is make them all the same length, so they're all 3 decimal places long. So that's what I'll do to the numbers. So I've got 2, 201, 20 and 200. So 2 is the smallest number. Then the next smallest is 20. Then the next smallest is going to be 200. And then finally, we've got 201. So the answer for 1 mark, 0.002, 0.02, 0.2, and then 0.201. Question 10 says write 60 as a fraction of 80. So 60 as a fraction of 80. We've created a fraction, so we simplify, so I can divide the top and the bottom by 10 to make it 6 over 8. That I can also divide the top and the bottom by 2. So 2 goes into 6 3 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So our simplified fraction is 3/4. The next question is asking us to calculate minus 30 times 120. So a negative multiplied by a positive is going to give us a negative answer. The 3 times the 12, if you know your 12 times tables, is 36. And we have 2 zeros to add on. So our answer for 1 mark is minus 3,600. Question 12 is asking us to increase £120 by 15%. Well, using the 10% rule, we know that 10% is £12. So 5% must be half of that, which is 6. So to get 15%, add the two together and you get £18. Now it's asking us to increase the amount. So we have to have 120 plus the 18. So £120 increased by 15% is £138. Question 13. Janet is going shopping. It takes her 3/4 of an hour to get to the shops. On the bus, 3.5 hours to shop, and then half an hour to get a taxi home. How long did the whole shopping trip take? So we have 3/4 of an hour. And then if we break it down in steps, we can add the 3 hours first. So we end up with 3 3/4 of an hour. Then we can add the half hour. So if we've got 3/4 of an hour, if you think of your clock and you go round another half hour, it would take us to 4 hours and 15 minutes, or 4 1/4 hours. And that's because we've added a half. And then finally, we add half an hour for the taxi home. So we have a quarter and we're going to add a half. So that takes us, if we're thinking of our clock and going around our clock, if it was 4:15 and we had half an hour, then it would be 3/4, 4:45. Okay. So how long will it take? It's 4 hours and 45 minutes. Question 14. Erin runs a gardening company and a customer has a garden measuring 11 meters by 9 meters. Question 14a is asking us, the customer wants a paved area in the garden which is 2 meters by 2 meters square, and it needs to be in one of the corners. On the scale diagram below, show a possible design for your paved area. Well, we know it's 11 across and 9 down. So each one of these squares is 1 meter, and we need to draw a 2 by 2 meter area as our square. So it can either be in this top left-hand corner, it can be in this top right-hand corner, it can be in this bottom left-hand corner, or it can be in this bottom right-hand corner. So any of those four will get you the mark. Finally, question 14b, the table shows the amounts that Erin charges her customers. So designing the garden is £49.99, the materials are £62.73, and building the garden is £180. How much does she charge altogether? So it's a non-calculator exam, so we'll break it down into small individual calculations that we'll do manually. So we have £62.73, and we're going to add £49.99. And then we'll add the 180. And our final price for doing the garden is £292.72. And that's the end of section A. Now we're going to look at section B, where we are allowed to use our calculators. If there's anything complicated on the paper to do with the calculator, I will call the calculator up and show you how to use the calculator to carry out that particular activity. Section B lasts for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and there are 45 marks available. Question 1. Circle the number that is 5 more than -1. If you're at all unsure, sketch your number line and draw the numbers you're interested in. So we're going to be going 5 in that direction from the number -1. So 1 takes us to 0, so we need to go another 4 in this direction. So we end up at +4. Write 7/20 as a percentage. Well, this is equivalence, and we've always said that to turn something into a percentage, the denominator needs to be 100. So how do I get from 20 to 100? I multiply by 5. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 7 times 5 is 35. Now it is a calculator paper, so if you wanted to, you could put 7/20 in your calculator, press equals and the SD button, and then that will give you a decimal, and multiply your decimal by 100. And you'll get the same answer of 35%. There you go, just to show you, you can use your calculator for this. Here is a rectangle, work out the perimeter. So we know it's a rectangle, so this side must be 9 and this must be 4. So remembering what a perimeter is, it's the distance around the outside. I have 9 plus 4 plus 9 plus 4. Put this in your calculator so you don't make any mistakes, and you get 26 centimeters. So circle 26 centimeters for 1 mark. Question 4, work out the value of 38 squared. So we're allowed to use our calculator, so we just put in the value 38 and we press the square button. Press equals and it gives you your answer. That's 1,444. Question 5 lists these types of angles in order with the smallest first. So I know a reflex angle is the biggest because it goes all the way round. An obtuse angle is bigger than 90. An acute angle is sharp, so that's a little one. And then finally, a right angle triangle is 90 degrees. So the smallest angle is the acute. The next biggest angle is going to be the right angle. The next biggest angle is the obtuse. And finally, our biggest angle is the reflex. And that's 1 mark. A cuboid measures 7.6 centimeters by 2.25 by 5.4. Work out the volume of the cuboid. So to calculate the volume of a three-dimensional shape, you have to multiply the 3 dimensions. So 7.6 multiplied by 5.4 multiplied by 2.25. Put this in your calculator and it gives you the exact answer of 92.34. So for your answer, for your 2 marks, 92.34. Don't forget the units are centimeters and we're talking about volume, so it's cubed. Question 7. Here are 15 values. Complete the frequency column of the table. So the values of 1 to 10 have already been done for you, and there were 2 of them. So now let's look for values between 11 and 20. And there are 4 of those. Now between 21 and 30. So there is a frequency of 3. And finally, the values between 31 and 40. Six. And then just as a check, add them up, 6, 9, 13, 15. And there are 15 values. So we've got them all covered. So for 2 marks, you need a frequency of 4, 3, and 6. Here is an L-shaped room. Work out the area of the L shape and state the units of your answer. And there are 3 marks available. So we can divide this up in one of 2 ways. One of the easiest is just to divide it down this line here and split it into 2 rectangles. So this rectangle here, this little one in the bottom, is 4 by 2. And this big one here is 20 by 8. So that's 160 centimeters squared, and this is 8 centimeters squared. So we have 160 plus the 8 is 168 centimeters squared. So to get your marks, make sure you put the answer on the answer line and put in the correct units. Because it's area, don't forget the centimeters are squared. Question 9, Rory works for a restaurant. One week the restaurant runs a special offer from Wednesday to Saturday. The table shows the income from the sale of drinks for the 4 days. On the grid below, draw a suitable chart showing the income from the drinks. So it's given us our title, the income from the drinks. So what we need to do now is work out the best way to display our information that we have here. So I would go for a bar chart myself with a frequency count on the left-hand side, and that would be money going up to £1,400. And that's pretty much our bar chart. So income for drinks, good scale, axis labels, a bar for each of the four things we're trying to represent. The next table shows the income from the sales of food for the 4 days from Wednesday to Saturday. And James says, in total, the income from food was more than 3 times the income from drinks. So we need to know the sum of the income from both of those two things. So since it's on this page, let's add these together. So the sum for food, which is £12,300. So from food, we have 12,300. We also need to go and have a look at the income from drinks. So go back to the last question where it gives us that information and work out the sum of the drinks. And that's £3,900. So he's saying that in total, the income from the food was more than 3 times the income from the drinks. So if we multiply this by 3, it will tell us whether this is true or not. So the drinks income multiplied by 3 is 11,700. So it's still less than the income from food. So is he correct? Yes, he is correct. And that's worth 4 marks. Question 11 states that the income from food comes from starters, mains and desserts in the restaurant. The pie chart represents the income from food during this special offer. So we have starters, desserts and mains. Our question is, in total, Tony wants 1/3 of the income from food to come from the starters and the desserts. Has this happened during this special offer? So the question is this value here 1/3 of our pie? So we need to get out our protractor and measure this angle. So using your protractor, you measure this angle, and I have roughly 115 degrees for this angle here. Now, 1/3 of the total income means 1/3 of the 360 degrees. You can use your calculator for this if you want to. So 1/3 of 360 is 120 degrees. So we have less than the 120 degrees we need. So to answer the question for our 3 marks is no, this has not happened. And then if you want to, is he has 115 degrees and needs 120 degrees for 1/3. Okay. Question 12. In the next week, the total income at the restaurant is £14,800. The table below shows the costs to run the restaurant that week. The wages of the chefs, the waiters and other costs. So we need to work out the profit for the week. So the wages for the chefs will be 210 times 9.35. And that gives us £1,963 and 50 pence. For the waiters, you've got 570 hours at £7.90. And that's £4,503. And then we've got the other costs. So we need to add the chefs, the waiters, and other costs together. £10,166 and 50p. So in the next week, the total income was this. So we need to work out the profit. So our £14,800 take away our £10,166 and 50p leaves us with a profit of 4633.5. So on the answer line for our 5 marks, 4633.50. Don't forget the second decimal place. Question 13. When you go on holiday with Jet3, you pay £17.99 for luggage weighing up to 15 kilograms. You pay an extra amount for each additional kilogram of luggage. Joe's luggage weighs 19 kilograms and she pays £23.99. Steve's luggage weighs 22 kilograms. How much does he pay? So in order to do this, we need to work out how much Joe pays for that extra weight. So we know that she's got 19 kilograms and she was entitled to 15, and this meant that she had 4 kilograms extra. Now, from the amount of money she's paid, it looks like our £23.99 take away our £17.99 that we get gratis means she's paid another £6 for the 4 extra kilograms. Therefore, £6 divided by the 4 extra kilograms tells us she's paying an extra £1.50 per kilogram. So now let's work out Steve's costs. He's got 22 kilograms and we know he's entitled to the 15 kilograms at £17.99. So this leaves another 7 kilograms that he needs to pay the £1.50 for. So this gives us £10.50. So add this to his £17.99. And we get £28.49. So the answer on the answer line, £28.49. So, question 14. Ian is going to a concert and he decides to drive to the concert and back. The concert starts at 7:15. Ian will take 1.5 hours to drive to the concert and then he wants to arrive there at least 10 minutes before the start. What's the latest time he should leave home? So we can use our step through time method to solve this. So his start time is 7:15. and we need to take off an hour and a half. So let's take off the hour first. And then let's take off the half an hour. Okay, so that's an hour and a half before, and then we have to take off an extra 10 minutes because he wants to get there 10 minutes before the start. So our answer would be 5:35 p.m. Finally, question 14b. The tank in his car holds 11.6 gallons of petrol. The petrol gauge shows how full his tank is. Ian's car travels 46 miles for each gallon of petrol, and the concert is 70.3 miles from his home. Is there enough petrol in the car to get Ian to the concert and back? So, the tank is showing 1/4 of the 11.6 gallons. So let's do that on our calculator. Fraction button, 1/4, rocker to the right of 11.6 equals SD button, 2.9 gallons left. Okay, so he's got 2.9 gallons in his tank, and Ian's car travels 46 miles for each gallon. So 46 times the 2.9 gives him a range of 133.4 miles. The concert is 70.3 miles, so 70.3 times 2, because he's going to the concert and back, means he needs 140.6 miles of petrol. So is there enough petrol to get to the concert and back? No, there is not enough. And then if you wanted to, you could take one from the other and say he is 7.2 miles short of having the correct amount. In other words, the 140 take away the 133.4. Question 15. Here are the prices for a list of food and drink. Bob has a student discount card and he gets 15% discount on food and drink. Ian has £6.20. Does he have enough money to buy a hot dog, crisps and a cola? So the hot dog is £3.95. The crisps are 90p. And the cola is £2.35. So if he didn't have a discount, he would need £7.20. He has a 15% discount, so 15% of the £7.20, and we can put this straight in our calculator. 15, don't forget the shift button and the percent of the £7.20 means he gets £1.08 off. So £7.20, take away the student discount, is £6.12. He's got £6.20. So to answer our question, yes, he has enough. And he's probably got 8 pence to spare as change. Question 16. You can use these steps to work out the amount of income tax you pay each month. So you work out the monthly salary and then you take away £987.50. And then step 2, take the answer from step 1 and divide it by 5. So Charlie gets £24,000 a year. So we divide that by 12. And it's £2,000 a month. So step 1 is take 987.50 off. And then step 2 is divide that answer by 5. So that's how much income tax Charlie pays. So that's Charlie. Now let's do Helen. Helen gets £1,720 a month, and we need to take away £987.50 from her monthly wage. So that's £732.50 that she has left every month. And then we need to divide that by 5. To get £146.50. So that's how much income tax Helen pays. So how much more does Charlie pay than Helen every month? So £202.50, take away £146.50, and that leaves us £56 difference. So on the answer line, £56 more. And that's the end of section B and the end of practice paper 2. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it helps you to resolve some of the problems on practice paper 2 at level 1. If you have any issues, please don't hesitate to contact your tutor. Thank you for watching.